Hey, what is happening? Finally getting to the stream. It's your good old friend, Brian, the Master of None. I'm here to talk about something that's also near and dear to my heart. I love James Bond. Like the entire franchise from start to stop. Um, I even enjoyed No Time to Die. But we will get there. We will do a nice friendly retrospective on, like I said, a really a real treasure of a franchise. So, and like I said, I'll probably keep this nice and quick. I'm expecting some dinner, so probably about an hour. So I'm gonna hop off of here, and then maybe I'll see you guys later tonight. Maybe you won't. I don't know. Might watch some stuff on TV because I've been getting into watching some shows lately, man. It's pretty fun. Good times all around. Really feel like using that background music. It's kind of weird. So, anyways, I don't know. There you go. Huh. Gotta make sure you like your own stream, dude. Come on now. It works. All right, here we go. Add to stream. There we go. Then you can put me down there at the bottom. All right, guys. Well, when it comes to James Bond, I figured I would like to give a little bit of a backstory into I before I before I watched this, or before I decided I wanted to do this, I watched a bunch of the bonus features which are on YouTube. Um, the bonus features for all of these movies are probably about 25 to 30. Some of them are a little bit longer, but they're about 25 to 30 minutes, and they like break down the whole movie. So it's like, who obviously who wrote, who directed, stuff like that. It's really interesting to like go back and see, and then to see some of the crossovers and parallels, like when it comes to writers and stuff like that. I believe there's a couple that have some crossover and a little bit of parallel with DC properties, and a couple other people have done some other things. um, so looks like we got somebody in the chat. Hey Sri, what's going on? uh I'm doing well today. Doing well. Uh, Not a bad day at work. It just had a lot of. It seemed like an uphill struggle there for a hot minute, but we pulled through, and it was a lot of fun. A lot of fun. I also doing this. I would like to also kind of. We'll kind of break down like each individual one, and this might take a little while. Depends on if I get a couple more people that want to join me or not. If not, hey man, poof, this will just be informational, and we'll have a good time talking about it. Um, but I'll also tell you who some of my favorite directors are for James Bond, because there are certain directors that have good style and stuff like that. I also like Roger Moore. This is one of my personal favorites. Um, but we'll kind of break that down a little bit more, and maybe as to like kind of why I like Roger Moore as the character. And I think it has more to do with his on camera or off camera than on camera stuff. Exactly. There you go. Dad says that Sean Connery is the best, but I'm a Pierce Brosnan gal myself. Yeah, absolutely. I At first I soured on Pierce Brosnan, and the funny thing, it's all because of Mrs. Doubtfire, because he was like, I don't know, it was just weird. That movie came out at a weird time when I was a kid, because my parents had divorced just around that same time, so it was like it was still fresh. But no, that's why I always had like a beef with him. Well, it was just because he was in it. But either way, let's see here. All right, all right. But I hope everybody's doing all right tonight. Like, Yeah, it's kind of been a fun week. I've done. Heck yeah. Oh yeah, Chris. Oh, right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's the timing was bad for me. But let's see here. Uh, I love Daniel Craig's portrayal. He was really good. Like No Time to Spectre and No Time to Die kind of fell off a little bit there, and I think that was a combination of the two. Yeah, 100%. I'm just glad that I can finally. Quick backstory to this stream. I originally was going to do this Tuesday, but I took a nap and I slept till about 5:30. I was like, "Oh no." So, I kind of pulled a mask or a max and uh ended up oversleeping my stream. Yeah, even it's not too bad. I feel like they tried really really hard uh to put all of the movies in, or as many movies as they could into it. I mean, it had its moments, but it's like I as we'll go through some of these, like I could totally pick out this part of the movie that they put in there, and I was like, oh man, yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, that's something we can agree on, Andrew. I too love James Bond. It is a very very good. Uh, let's see here. Oh, naps are amazing, especially on your day off. But I can't take naps on Mondays because I will be doing a show on Enosh's channel uh, very soon, uh, Monday evenings, called 10 Forward. Um, so we'll be talking some Star Trek. The recent shows have been coming out. There's a lot of news to be talked about, so that should be pretty fun. And hopefully, I get some kind of a sports show or something like that in the works. So it should be kind of fun. I'm looking forward to joining over there and having a good time. Let's see here. I've heard the cat people say that Timothy Dalton was the closest to Ian Fleming books. Yes, absolutely. They wrote it that way. They wrote it that way 110%. But without further ado, oh, jeez. I'm live, man. Hey, what's up, Betty? Hey, what's up, Chris? How's it going, bud? But anyways, let's see here, dude. I love Timothy Dalton as James Bond as well. James Bond, played by Timothy Dalton. At that time, they were kind of over the Roger Moore Bond, which, let's be honest, it was kind of he was more known for the campy, jokey kind of James Bond that wasn't as down to earth. And by 1985, 1987, when it was time to do the Living Daylights, it was like, nah, we're not doing this. Let's see here. Uh-oh, there it goes. Lost my cursor, man. All over the damn place. But no, I like Timothy Dalton. Even though he only did a couple. They also kind of were putting in feelers back in the 60s too. Uh, I was watching the bonus features and stuff like that, and they actually kind of wanted him for on Her Majesty's Secret Service, which is really crazy because yeah, we'll get into that by the time that movie comes up. So, real quickly, the first of the Eon Productions, which is in my thumbnail, which is started by the pair of Albert Cubby Broccoli and his partner um, Harry Saltzman. Uh, they basically bought the rights in 1961 to Ian Fleming's novels, um, which is really good because they made a partnership with United Artists, and United Artists put up the money so they could make their first movie, uh, Doctor No, directed by Terrence Young in 1962, starring everyone's favorite. Bond actor Sean Connery. Uh, rest in peace, Sir Sean Connery. Oh man, one of the best. Cannot complain about anything on that one. Let's see here. I've heard of their rework Bond origins. Yeah, they did. They did. Let's see here. Dalton did two in the late 80s, Living Daylights and License to Kill. Yeah, George Lazenby only did the one. Yeah. There you go. Yep. Chris is on it. Boom, boom, boom. But anyways, when it comes to Dr. No, I really enjoyed this film. It's kind of, I don't want to say it's necessarily boring, but I had to watch it a couple times to get through it the first time. I love the music in this movie. Who can complain about Ursula Andress? I mean, wow. I mean, just wow. Beauty then, beauty now. I mean, I don't know. No, I think she passed away, but that's, yeah, I don't know. Shh. No speaking. But she was amazing back then. um, and her chemistry with her and Sean Connery was just great. They filmed it in Jamaica, which is really cool because that's kind of where the book took place and where Fleming wrote the book as well. There's certain things about Dr. No that they would complain about today because it was basically a white dude that was supposed to be an Asian person that was playing Dr. No. And but anyways, it was good because it gave us a couple of things, which was the 007, the that one there. Okay, that is probably one of the most well-known movie soundtracks in all of all time. And it was a combination of Monty Norman, Vic Flick on the guitar, and the orchestration of one Mr. John Barry. Okay, if you have the opportunity to watch the little featurette that they made about John Barry with these with the music of James Bond, it's I would not hesitate to tell you to watch this because he does some of the best music, especially going up through because I could basically tell you who did most of the composing in all these movies. It's mostly John Barry, with exception of I want to say like The Spy Who Loved Me. I want to say For Your Eyes Only, but I don't think so. And then after GoldenEye, yeah, GoldenEye onward. Hey, what's going on, man? What is up? Not much, dude. We're talking some James Bond and discussing a little Dr. No. Um, I like the end scene with the boat chase. Anytime you can get a good boat chase in a Bond movie, and I think all three of the first. Wait, no. Let's see here. One, two, three out of the first four have boat chases in them. Because I'm pretty sure From Russia with Love has one in there too. Not Goldfinger, but definitely From Russia with Love. Okay, so as far as we'll move on to the next one. Dr. No wasn't too bad. I liked it. It gave us a couple of things, kind of set the tone for James Bond. Terrence Young basically took, Sean Connery under his wing and, took him to the right people for haircuts or the right barbers, the right tailors. I mean, they got this guy, pressed like $1 million, like ready to go. And that's what gave the world James Bond. It continued with Sean Connery and Terrence Young also working on From Russia with Love. This is probably my favorite out of all the Sean Connery movies. It's really stripped down. There's not a lot of gadgets, but we do get introduced to Q, who is played by Desmond. I don't know. did we get introduced to Q? No, Q is in the From Russia with Love, um, played by Desmond Llewellyn, who played Q pretty much up until I want to say Tomorrow Never Dies. Uh, yeah, Tomorrow Never Dies. Might have been The World Is Not Enough. I'm not sure, but I know he wasn't in Die Another Day. That was John Cleese, which I also appreciate. I like John Cleese's his assistant. They kind of started working him in towards the end. But anyways, Q Branch gives us some stuff. The bad guy in this movie is played by Robert Shaw, who's a writer, but he also was Quint from Jaws. So every time I watch the end of From Russia with Love, I get that part. This movie also gave us some fantastic soundtrack. The score for this just is amazing, where it's like dude, that's just that opening bit to that song. It's metal. I know bullshit. Like From Russia with Love, that opening is just like ah. Well, as far as the Sean Connery bonds, I think From Russia with Love is probably my favorite. We also get introduced to another kick-ass score by John Barry, which is the James Bond theme. So the 007 theme, to my understanding, and the James Bond theme are two different things. The James Bond theme is like boom, 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 and then it'll be like boom, 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 boom. But that is like the James Bond theme. They use it again in Goldfinger, Thunderball, You Only Live Twice. Um, they skip it on Her Majesty's Secret Service, but I know they use it in Diamonds Are Forever. And also Live and Let Die and the Moonraker. There's a bunch of the older ones that they used it in, but another fantastic piece of music that I really enjoy. Dude. Okay, Llewellyn's last one. Okay, The World Is Not Enough. Thank you. Yeah, I couldn't remember if it was The World Is Not Enough or Die Another Day, because I remember that we're trying to work John Cleese in there at the end, and yeah, dude, that was a good run, man. From all the way back in '63 all the way up, man. That's gas. And then let's see, the next one on there. Speaking of soundtracks, so like after a while, right? Thank you. No problem, man. I'm glad you're enjoying yourself. But no, these are some of like the best music. Like back in the day. Speaking of music, like I'll go From Russia with Love on to Goldfinger. Uh, Goldfinger is, I think it's really known for a lot of things, because when you think James Bond in the '60s with Sean Connery, you're either thinking Thunderball or you're thinking Goldfinger. Like these two movies are quintessential '60s James Bond with, everything. Okay, so 64 Goldfinger was directed by Guy Hamilton. Okay, so Guy Hamilton was in line to direct the the 79 Superman or 78 Superman or whatever, like back in before, like in early pre-production, before like where they were filming it would have cost too much and he wouldn't have been able to do it. But Guy Hamilton, he was a good director. He also did some more with Sean Connery and Roger Moore down the road, respectively. But like Goldfinger, like that bum bum bum, just like that was the first time we really heard singing in a Bond film right out the gate. It was just like Goldfinger. It's like, wow, dude, can I get more? And I mean, everything's iconic in this movie. The chick painted gold, the laser to the crotch, like the gassing out the gangsters. Like every time you watch one of those movies from like the Austin Powers generation of movies, the Goldfingers, like the Gold Member, of course, stuff like that. Like every little bit and piece you could think of, just the secretive person. I mean, the Blofeld wasn't in Goldfinger, but like it is this Goldfinger himself. one of the Samoan family, the Samoan wrestling family was played Odd Job. I love Sean Connery, but Roger Moore was the Bond of my youth. So I have to a special place for him. And he was also just so British. Absolutely. Like, no, dude. When I get to Roger Moore, I think Roger Moore personally, he's the ambassador for like as far as like the goodwill ambassador for the character, because nobody embraced the character more, in my opinion, than Roger Moore did. Nobody more than Roger Moore. But anyways, Roger Moore, he just like had it as Bond. Plus, he was just such a diplomat for between the fans and the production, just where everybody loved him playing James Bond. I know Sean Connery was a little fed up after You Only Live Twice. That's why he didn't come back for Diamonds Are Forever. But yeah, so I also love Sean Connery. I understand his place in all of it, but there was a lot of it wasn't necessarily the best breakup when they announced, or when Sean Connery left, uh this the second time, or the first and the second time. But no, Goldfinger was just amazing. Like, you think of a lot of the good stuff that happened from that. Goldfinger was, where it's at as far as James Bond goes. Oh shit, there ain't nobody in here. Take those uncomfortable ass things off. They hurt my ears. So, oh yeah, dude, exactly. Then that's like to my point. Like, that's why I like Roger Moore so much. It's just he was such a good guy on and off the camera that he is the epitome of Bond, in my opinion. I mean, there's other ones that played it better, as far as I'm concerned. Like, in certain movies, but like overall, over his run, Roger Moore was probably the best. But anyways, the next one. This is also fun just to read off a freaking Wikipedia article. But Thunderball is another good one. That movie, the score with that one was freaking Tom Jones. And who doesn't love Tom Jones? What's New Pussycat? But now there was some really interesting stuff that happened in this movie. This is where we got like Largo and Domino, and a lot of the characters that are in Never Say Never Again, because it's basically just a rehashing of the movie because of rights, and rights purposes, intellectual property rights, to say the least. If we get there when we have time, I kind of hope to do this a little bit more to get some friends on to talk about it. But it's good to kind of get where I'm coming from as far as like how I enjoy James Bonds and stuff like that. That's always such a hit to take on my circles. Roger Moore is my favorite Bond and always will be. I catch heat for that a lot. No, you won't catch that here, man. You will not catch that heat here. I have the utmost respect for Roger Moore, dude. If anything, I don't. I my on my bottom half is where Sean Connery is at, because he didn't, in the press, he wasn't the most friendly after he left. Um, I feel kind of bad because I will be kind of glancing over You Only Live Twice, because I've only watched that movie a couple times, and not recently, unfortunately. um, but it was also the movie that, like, I guess it was filmed in Japan, and the press in Japan was really intrusive, and Sean Connery had a huge problem with it. Like, he'd be going to the bathroom and then he'd be like taking pictures over him over the stall and shit. So it's like, I would understand why he'd be like, well, F this, I'm out, dude. Like, no. So, and I think also that the producers had the attitude of, and this is kind of where like the whole debate, the great debate of like recasting, like, should you recast a character or just move on? So like, if James Bond would have had that mentality of you can't recast the character, we would have had the last James Bond movie in 1967. I mean, unless they would have paid him a shit ton of money and he came back one time, but then we'd have still been done like in the 60s. So sometimes a recast is damn worth it, especially when we're talking about this, because I'm sorry, the character of James Bond transcends the actor who plays it. No, and there's nothing wrong with that, Andrew. I have no disrespect for Pierce Brosnan at all. I also like his portrayal of James Bond. Like his portrayal of James Bond by the time he was done made me respect Pierce Brosnan as an actor. Because for some reason I just didn't like Remington Steele. All the characters he played were like really smug and arrogant. And I just didn't, for some reason, even as a kid, I can't stand smug and arrogance. So it's like, no, smugness and arrogance. There's just two things that like rub me the wrong way. So it's like, whenever I see those, it's just you know, turn me the other way. But no, Pierce Brosnan, and I understand that's part of the character of James Bond, and that's why it like loosened me and endeared me to Pierce Brosnan a little bit more. And goddamn, the nephews are loud tonight, but that's okay, not to worry. But this is going to lead me to one of my favorite James Bond movies. Okay, as far as the acting and all that kind of stuff, fine. But as far as the story is concerned, On Her Majesty's Secret Service is probably the best James Bond movie in my opinion. Okay, yes, George Lazenby did this one, but I still love this movie. The opening title scene for this movie is freaking amazing. Uh, it cannot get any better than the Maurice Bender freaking uh, time effect, because it's like everything like the Jabon movies have like this specific style when it comes to doing the thing. So it's like, half naked ladies moving back and forth. And it's like the same dude that did the movies through all the way up until like CG and stuff. And it would be like real thing. It's like people would be sitting there for like 3 hours and stuff. See, as long as Bond is a man, I am okay with recasting. Regendering 007 is not okay. I honestly, um, I don't know. To a certain point, 007 is just a number, but as long as they don't make it like James Bond a female, that I don't have a problem. They can make 007 a female, that doesn't bother me at all. But if it's like Jane Bond or something like that, I'm just like, I'm out. Like, no, cut the cord. We're done with James Bond. Ian Fleming's rolling over in his grave type situation. And I'm not usually like that. That doesn't bother me. But like I said, 007 is just a number. You can have a 007 that's a female. That's not an issue at all. Uh, but see, but then again, like we can't really say too much about like the books and the movies, because after a certain amount of movies they started running out of the books to work with, and then it was just artistic license from the people who were writing the movies way back in the day. And even then they kind of made some kind of head scratching choices, like some of the Roger Moore movies, let's face it, are kind of like over the top cheesy, where as like your Pierce Brosnan ones are a little more hard edged, and your Dalton ones are just freaking dude's a badass, like drops a dude in the meat grind and a freaking cement grinder. So like, motherfuck, man, that's gotta hurt. Not gonna lie, but On Her Majesty's Secret Service is fantastic because of a couple of things. Anytime you get snow and ski action with a bobsled run in the finale, fantastic. It gave us Telly Savalas as Blofeld. Okay, like you can't go wrong with that. Action on a freaking gondola cable above a freaking gorge, and in a real setting, like the layer that they used in that movie was a real place, like in the Swiss Alps or whatever. And like, yeah, no, dude, it was amazing. And the funny part of it was, okay, like George Lazenby, they actually had to dub his speaking when he first came onto the thing, because his Australian accent was a little bit clashing with the overly British accent. Don't even ask me to do a British accent, because there's no way I can do it. But it was also directed by Peter Hunt. Peter Hunt was the editor in all the previous movies. And he was just like, no, I don't want to direct. And he did. This movie gave us All the Time in the World. It's a song that they use in No Time to Die. They also use From Russia with Love, the theme in there too. I think they use Goldfinger, but I don't remember when I heard it. Uh, episode of Buffy where the Evo trio was arguing about that movie and Bond movies. No, actually, I never really watched Buffy. Like, oh man, that was one of the shows I never really got into when I was in my teenage years. Oh man, no, it's been a while since I've like had a really like thorough conversation about Bond movies. But honestly, this is kind of fun. I'm enjoying myself because I've pretty much watched all these. Like some of them, it's been a while. On Her Majesty's Secret Service, I recently watched, but at the end, he gets married, and spoilers, dude, his wife gets the eat. You know, I was like, oh man, it's all bad. That movie, I would say go watch that movie if you have never seen it. It's still even knowing what you know, because it's like you if you've watched No Time to Die, then and oh god dang it, I don't want to spoil No Time to Die, but gosh, go watch it. No Time to Die is not that bad. Um, Diamonds Are Forever, forever, forever. The gondola and the pigeons doing the double takes in the flying gondola. It's inexcusable. Let's see here. Yeah, Diamonds Are Forever. Um, Another solid movie. George Connery was given a shit ton of movies and a little bit of power at the studio to come back and make it. I think like a couple obscure movies in the 70s and 80s were made because of this deal. But we got Guy Hamilton back in the director's seat again. These movies were filmed in Las Vegas, thanks to the fact that Cubby Broccoli knew uh, Howard Hughes. He was a friend, I believe. So they let him film at the casino he owned down there. It's a really good one. I enjoyed this movie. Like Vegas, man. Like this was a great movie. There's some weird diamond mine thing that would keep Blofeld alive. Yeah, no, it was pretty. Oh no, it was like a laser thing. But anyways, this movie was pretty decent. It's been a while since I watched it. It's actually one of the first Bond movies I watched. Um, so it's not too bad, but you can kind of tell at this point, like Sean Connery was like, "Pff, I'm good, man. Like I got my money. I'm just gonna phone this in here to collect my check here, and I'm out. Deuces. I'll see you when I come back to make Highlander." I still like Highlander. That's a kick-ass movie. Not gonna lie. Not gonna lie. Okay, so when you were young and your heart was an open book, you used to say, "Live and let live." But in this ever-changing world in which we live in, makes you give in and cry. Dun-dun-dun. Live and let die. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Live and Let Die. Roger Moore's first movie as James Bond. A great movie, by the way. Um, Movie was filmed in the States, around the New Orleans area. It's been a while since I've watched this movie, unfortunately. But George Hamilton did the music. That's why Paul McCartney did the theme. To be honest, I kind of like the Guns N' Roses version better than the Paul McCartney version, but that's that's just a millennial talking. That's just me. But no, this movie was great. Live and Let Die introduced us to the sheriff, who comes back in a later movie. Uh, actually, in the next movie, Live and Let, or The Man with the Golden Gun. But no, this movie was really good. Um, God dang it! Like I said, it's been a hot minute. But this movie had Jane Seymour in it, and man, Jane Seymour. Okay, she was beautiful uh, then and in the 80s and 90s. Jane Seymour, traditional beauty. Like, dude, what was that? Wedding Crashers. Damn, damn. Okay, Jane Seymour. She's a great actress too. Seen her in a lot of stuff. Sorry. I'm starting to get a little parched. A little parched. That was a great movie. I enjoyed it quite a bit. Uh, the next one is probably my favorite Roger Moore movie, which is The Man with the Golden Gun. This movie gives us Scaramanga, the man with the golden gun, who has this like little detachable gun that he can rebuild, and it's like one shot kills. Done. If you've ever used Scaramanga on GoldenEye on N64, you know what I'm talking about. We used to ban people from using them. Same thing with Odd Job and Knick Knack. Knick Knack is also another character from The Man with the Golden Gun. Um, this movie is amazing. Okay, some of the action is amazing. Like that is where they did the car with the barrel roll over the little creek thing or little river thing. Wow. Okay. How they did that was actually a car somebody was driving. Like that was 100% real. Like the car was gimmicked a little bit, but like the bridge, you know, was also gimmicked. But like it was really a car flipping. Like they had divers in the water just in case it crashed in the water and like nobody drowned or anything. But like, yeah, that was an epic part. That also gave us the flying car. But Scaramanga was played by Christopher Lee. Christopher Lee, as we all know, was Saruman from Lord of the Rings and Count Dooku from Star Wars. Uh, it was starting to get to a point where one would confuse the other, but you know, like they both had the same like they had the same vibe. That's the best way to put it. But like, this movie was awesome. It gave us Maud Adams for the first time. Who played Scaramanga's girlfriend. So like this dude had like 3 nipples, lived on this sweet ass island out in the middle of nowhere, and for $1 million, he'd plug anyone that you wanted. But he had to make love to Maud Adams. And gave us Britt Eklund. But I also really, really, really enjoyed this movie. And hopefully what's up, buddy? You there?
Yeah, yeah. Hold on.
All right, no problem.
I'm rushing to try to get out here. Sorry, I'm late.
Oh no, it's okay, man. I'm sorry. I'm like rapid fire through them, but there's a couple
Mhm.
of them that I didn't quite remember. Right now, I'm talking about The Man with the Golden Gun, but
Ah,
yeah, that's probably one of my favorite Roger Moore movies as far as it goes. Like, uh, hey, what's up, Tony? What's up? Tony says, "What's up?"
hey, what's up? Yeah,
But did you have any favorite Sean Connery movies, or have you seen any of the
uh,
older ones?
okay. Well, actually, if you guys have been following my channel, I have been doing reviews on most of them. I'm kind of behind. I'm in the Brosnan era right now, but I did talk about all the movies before that. Um, I'll say like some highlights. Of course, Goldfinger. You can't go wrong with Goldfinger. That was good. That was
Yeah,
a good
absolutely.
one. Um, and I personally like You Only Live Twice as well. I think like those probably my favorite of the Connery era for sure. Um, and then with more since we're on there, oh, Man with the Golden Gun. Wasn't the biggest fan of that one. So that was the first Moore film that I watched, though. So that's what
Mhm.
got me into more. But like, yeah, I don't know. What's the biggest fan of that one? I did really like Live and Let Die, though. Live and Let Die, I really liked.
Yeah, that was good because like I liked the ceremonial aspect of it
Yeah.
with the funerals and how they were doing that, and then uh, with the fortune telling aspect with Solitaire. I was talking
Hmm.
about like Jane Seymour. Like, man, Jane Seymour was amazing back then.
Hmm.
As far as as far as the Bond girls went, like, but
Yeah.
I also like Britt Eklund, who was in The Man with the Golden Gun. but I liked it because it was Christopher Lee
Christopher Lee, yeah.
was Scaramanga, and it gave us Tattoo. You know,
Mhm.
that's from Knick Knack, not Tattoo. Tattoo's from Fantasy Island. Ha 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 ha.
Ah,
Oh man, that's bad. That's bad. But I was like talking about how like I just watched the bonus featurette of this movie and like
mhm,
how they did the car with the barrel roll. Uh,
mhm.
that was and they actually did it like and then they built a remote control car of the flying car that Scaramanga had. But I just like that island out in the middle of nowhere, dude.
Oh
That
yeah,
would be cool.
oh
Like to
yeah,
have a place like that.
definitely, dude. Like a lot of the layers that these villains have, like it's just, I'm like, man, can I live there, man? Because like it seems to have everything, you know. Don't gotta deal with people. You're on an island by yourself. Like this seems like the life. How are they getting this stuff?
Well, it's like on Her Majesty's Secret Service. Like that's like the layer from All Get Out. And like,
Oh,
whoa.
oh yeah, man. Goodness.
And it's like those tropes that he used in the Austin Powers movies years later.
Oh boy.
With like Doctor Evil.
Absolutely yes.
But I also love the music in this one. We had uh, sorry, John Barry did the score for this one, so it was a
Mm.
freaking amazing. And also coming to the stream is Chris, Bipolar Nobody. Hey man, what's up?
I didn't know that this was an open discussion. Now I know why the link was in there. I'm stupid. I was in.
No big deal.
I wasn't
I'll
paying
put that in there
attention.
periodically.
I do believe there is. I believe I'm looking at the list here. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, my favorite Sean Connery James Bond movie isn't even on the list.
Is it Never Say Never
It's
Again?
Never Say Never Again.
Okay, wait. What?
Yeah.
Well, it is on there. It's called Thunderball.
Yes, it's literally a remake of Thunderball. I didn't even love Thunderball like that, but like I'll rather watch that than Never Say Never Again. But you know, I'm glad you like Never Say Never Again. 'Cause, like,
It's only my favorite because it wasn't my first James Bond movie. It wasn't the first one I ever saw. The first James Bond movie I ever saw was Octopussy, and I was like, "What is this? Who's this guy?" And then that was and then my dad explained to me how Ian Fleming and James Bond work. So I went back and watched a lot of the old ones with my pop, when I was young. But I didn't remember a whole lot of them. I remember some bad ones though. Like, what is the one with the flying gondola? Is it Moonraker?
Yep.
Yeah, where the pigeons are
Oh
doing
The
yeah.
double taking pigeon. Oh.
yeah. And I remember that like the nerds on Buffy were arguing about it, so it made me go watch the movie, and I was like, wow, they're right. This one's really bad.
Yeah, Moonraker was really bad. Like even Jaws, like because like in the next movie we'll talk about The Spy Who Loved Me, and like that introduced us to Jaws. And it
But
was
the
like,
motorcycle and was it Tanya Roberts? No, maybe not Tanya Roberts. I mean, I just really Sean Connery was getting older, and I'd seen him in some other things like Highlander, and my dad was like, "That's Sean Connery. You'll know who Sean Connery is soon enough." And then he just became. I grew up with those things, and I watched him become an icon. He was kind of already an icon, but he got
Yeah.
bigger and bigger and bigger as I got older and older. And I don't know why, but that one is my favorite Sean Connery because it's the first one I saw, and it introduced me to the fact that the James Bond character transcends actors. It's
yeah,
a mantle. Like there can be more than one Spider-Man, more than one Batman. Okay, I get it. So I know it's not a great movie, but the motorcycle's really cool. And the girl, whatever her name was.
Oh, Kim Basinger was in that.
That
one.
was Kim Basinger when she was like,
Vicky
"How
Vale.
dare you kiss me?" And I was like, "Oh no, this is some." But that's not my. That's just my favorite. And I like Goldfinger a lot too.
No, it's not a bad movie. I mean, honestly, that was the first Bond movie I ever watched. Was Never Say Never Again because it was on the afternoon.
Oh,
Like,
that's interesting.
It was on like in the afternoon on a weekend afternoon after like baseball or something like that, like in the mid '90s.
But I catch a lot of heat for my favorite James Bond movie. We'll get to it. I catch a lot of heat for it being my favorite.
I'm probably gonna get heat for mine. Too.
Yeah. But I tell people James Bond has a special place in my heart. These are movies I grew up with as a kid. I would take my little $2.50 back when a movie only cost $2.50, and I would go see the new James Bond. You know,
Yeah.
I would go. I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna give it a shot because there's always some cool gadgets. I like Q. Let's go see what happens in this one. Come on, man. I don't want to blow it. We're not there yet, so I don't want to. I don't want to shoot.
Oh,
But
no,
the
no,
yo-yo,
no
the
worries.
saw blade yo-yo. Come on, man. That's the coolest shit ever.
Well, that's why it's like a lot of these ones I'll end up like jumping ahead a little bit because I'm like, oh wait, that's awesome,
The little airplane that he's flying. Come on, Octopussy was so good.
right? But no, okay. So like, so the Man with the Golden Gun, I liked it. It had some good music. The fact that Christopher Lee is like kind of like the bad guy. I like the whole ending scene. The last battle between them is badass. Where it's like, they're going through the maze in the fun house, and like he has to like how he has to sharpen his edge. Like that's why I like the Man with the Golden Gun. That's my favorite Roger Moore movie. So The Spy Who Loved Me. It's a pretty interesting movie. The music is it's okay.
This one is my favorite Roger Moore movie.
Oh, dude, it's awesome because I mean,
yeah,
we get some of the best characters introduced in this one, and not only that, but like just the story in general, because it does divert from the book a little bit, but like it's definitely no, this is a good one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I was blown away from this one. I think for me, this is the first Bond film where I was like, oh, this is awesome. Because like up until this point, I was like, there's a couple of them where I was like, yeah, that's good. Like Goldfinger and You Only Live Twice. I did enjoy those, but I wasn't like blown away by it. But like The Spy Who Loved Me, that was the one where I was like, oh right, yes, I get it now. This is great. And Roger Moore, he's not even my favorite Bond, but it's like he really sold me in this one. Like I actually really liked him in this movie. And the Bond girl, damn, forget her name. What was it? Dang it! It was Agent Triple X, something like that. I think she's one of my favorite Bond girls.
Oh, I know. Damn it! I know it's Barbara Bach that plays her. Let's see here. Let's go to Spy Who Loved Me.
Raya.
Hey Raya, what's up?
Raya.
Let's see here. Roger Moore, Barbara Bach, and Kurt Jurgens.
Mm-hmm.
Anya,
yeah.
Amasova.
Yeah.
And The Spy Who Loves Me. Oh, she was married to Ringo Starr. Huh.
Oh, that's right.
Go.
That makes me
something
think
new.
The line in Love Actually. The line in Love Actually where they're talking about drummers, and he's telling them about he married a Bond girl. He goes, hell, he married a Bond girl, and then the little kid's like, who's he? Didn't know who the Beatles were.
Oh, that's funny. Oh man. Oh yeah. So this one was co-written by Mankiewicz, Tom Mankiewicz. He co-wrote the Richard Donner Superman. Tom Mankiewicz did.
Yeah, I just got my love. Literally, just recently got my love for Superman back. I went back and rewatched them all and tried to give him a chance. Because when I was growing up as a kid, I hated Superman.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Well, because the thing is though, okay, like for me, I get where you're coming from. Because for me, the first two Supermans I had were 3 and 4.
Just him as a character. Just him as a character. Because back then we didn't have the term OP.
True.
I just knew that. Wow, Superman, nothing can beat him, man. Like, when's the guy ever gonna get scared or have to show any courage? Then they started bringing in things like Apocalypse and Doomsday, and you know what I mean, all those things. And then later on, I was like, oh, okay, more than Kryptonite can mess this dude up. Because the only villain I ever got to grow up with, it was just always Lex. You know what I mean? But lately, I've got to go back and look at some of these directors and see what they were trying to do, and of course the score, the amazing score, the soundtrack. So
Yeah.
I've got a new love for Superman, you know. And it's because of you guys. So hey, pat yourselves on the back because I used to hate the guy.
True.
Yeah,
True.
Superman's one of my favorite comic book characters, so I understand why you say that, but deep inside, I'm like, no.
I needed him. Well,
more."
here's what it was. I needed him to be humanized for me. And when Zach did that, it made me go back and watch all the Superman movies again and realize exactly what this character stands for.
Yeah.
And now I get it.
It's true.
Oh yeah.
Well,
Love Man
this
of
one,
Steel.
this one opens up with one of the best scenes ever, though. The Spy Who Loved Me. Okay, he's jumping off the cliff, and then he rips open the parachute, and it's the Union Jack, and he's floating down.
It's exactly it is great. It is great. And,
So
and,
cool.
and it won't be the last time he does that, if you remember.
True.
It won't be the last time he does that in any movie. That's just the first one where he did the Union Jack parachute, because one of the movies coming up, which is my favorite one, he did it again.
Yeah. No, but this one was awesome because it had like the vehicles. Like, this is the one that had the Lotus, or was it?
I think it did had the Lotus that went underwater, the Esprit.
Yeah.
Submarine car.
Yes.
Submarine Lotus, the Esprit.
Oh, man.
It's so dope, dude.
Yes.
So cool.
And it's white. Oh, I love that it was white. They didn't like make it a flashy color. You know, they kept it nice and pure and white. I was like, that is so smart.
Yeah, it's like, as much as I love like the Aston Martin, I like that we were getting more variety with the car. Like that one, I don't think got enough love, man. It looked really cool and like underwater, bruh.
Yeah, it didn't at first. You're right, and everybody goes back to that Aston Martin, but it became a cult favorite. Everyone loves that Lotus now.
It was better than the what was it? The Ford in Live and Let Die.
Oh, like what?
It was like some Ford Galaxy or some shit like that. It was like,
it was a muscle car, I think, if I'm not mistaken. They actually used a muscle car in one of them.
Yeah.
But no, The Spy Who Loved Me is the one that had all the vehicles, like even like the submarine that would like it would the boat that would capture submarines and shit, and like the underwater lair.
Yeah,
those are always my favorite too, Brian. The underwater ones.
The
ones in the volcanoes are cool, and they can go like real G.I. Joe on a lot of these. You tell G.I. Joe stole a lot of stuff from James Bond, but like the underwater layers are always my favorite. Like they were always my favorite one.
Thunderball and
oh yeah.
But then like the Moonraker, I mean, dude, it's got its moments, but like they kind of go overboard with like the Bond girl in this one. What the hell's her name in this one?
Holly Goodhead.
Yeah, Holly Goodhead. I'm like,
what in the world?
I can imagine some old guy's like, she's got a good head on her shoulders. I'm like, that's not what I was thinking. Oh. It's like, oh man.
Doing this on purpose, I swear.
Right?
I always have to power through that one, man. I just have to power through it. And my dad loves it. I'm just like, you like slapstick that one just felt like they were trying too hard to be funny.
Yeah, well, especially at the end where it was just like really goofy, and then like had Jaws in space, and like this weird, just like Swedish dance team. I felt like ABBA was out there, you know. Just...
And Jaws randomly falls in love with this girl with pigtails. I'm like, what?
Right, and she's got braces or some shit. I'm just like,
who directed Moonraker?
Moonraker was directed by Lewis Gilbert. It was his last one. He did You Only Live Twice, You Spy Who Loved Me, and Moonraker.
The Spy Who Loved Me is really good too, man. Like he did some good ones. I don't know what
he did.
I don't know what he was thinking with Moonraker. You know, like I don't know. It's not a horrible movie. You just got to power through it. You know.
True.
To me, it's the Phantom Menace of James Bond movies. You got to power through that one.
Yeah, you just got to get through it. You'll get there.
I mean, for me, Dr. No was the Phantom Menace of Bond films, but that's just me.
No, I kind of agree because Dr. No was really stripped down. Like, and in hindsight, it's probably one of the more dubious of the movies. Let's just say.
And a lot of people think that's not the first James Bond movie, is it?
No, it was like a parody or something like that.
Oh yeah, the parody.
Casino Royale. It was made in the 50s, but like I guess Fleming didn't like it at all.
Because there was one James Bond before Sean. I just always forget his name.
Yeah, I don't remember his name either. But
you know what I'm talking about though. There was
it was in the movie
guy.
Casino Royale. But yeah. Well, they
Um,
wanted to get some other people though before Sean Connery, but they ended up settling with him.
I like
That's-
Sean. He's just not my favorite Bond. He's because he's
Oh,
not
no,
the
I
one I
agree.
grew up with. Roger's the one I grew up with. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What's-
I
what's-
do really like Sean. I do think it's I mean, I guess it's kind of cliche to say he is one of the best Bonds because he's the one that started it all, but like really, like even though I didn't love his movies, like him as Bond is he's just so good. He's so good.
Yeah. Well, no, absolutely. And then, I think, like I said, Terrence Young had a lot to do with that, the original director, because a lot of the people who worked on it were like, he was James Bond, like the director. So it was like he knew what he wanted, and like he knew how to get it. This next movie is one of the ones that it started off the John Glenn movies. He did 5 of them in a row, which were like some of the best Bond movies in my opinion. This stretch here with Roger Moore and Timothy Dalton
Some
we're
of
coming up
them?
on.
We're gonna have a
sorry.
fight.
Are the best?
There you go. Thank
Okay.
you.
So
Okay.
For Your Eyes Only, is one of the last Bond movies I watched. Like it's not in terms of recently, but like out of all of them. So I've only watched this one twice. But For Your Eyes Only is one of like, oh my god, yeah. Sheena Easton doing the soundtrack or the opening titles for that.
Oh yeah, singing to you during the titles.
For Your Eyes Only. Oh man, yeah, no, this movie is a great movie, just 100%.
Yeah, and Sheena was huge in '81. Like she was massive.
So I guess I definitely see why they put her in the title.
Yeah, she was a bit like she was Sheena Easton at one time because she was one of Prince's girls. You know, he put her on. She was the Beyonce of the '80s. Sheena was in the early '80s. It was crazy.
Very, very true.
To be quite honest, I wish they ended at the Moore era ended after this movie. Like I was done after this one.
That's kind of how they were going. I think there was talks about getting Pierce Brosnan at this time. Like, I know that the last 2 Roger Moore movies, that was kind of like not going to happen around that time. And not only that, but Octopussy and Never Say Never Again ran up against each other.
Yep. The reason why they brought Moore back for Octopussy is because
maybe
Never Say Never Again.
Maybe that's why I discovered those 2 Bond movies first. Like those are the first 2 I'd ever seen. That's probably why they were running up against each other. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it came out in 1983. Both of them did.
Yep.
And the Eon Productions documentary on this one talks about it. So I guess what happened was like there was this guy named Kevin something or other. Him and Fleming were sitting around like bullshitting one day, and they're like, "Hey, we're gonna write a movie." And they talked about it, but they never like settled on the rights or anything like that. So like they went to go make Thunderball, and dude sued him, and he won the suit years later with them. So it gave them this. He had the option to script to make that movie. That's why they made Never Say Never Again.
That's so weird. That's my favorite Sean Connery Bond movie, and it's technically not even a real James Bond movie.
Yeah,
it's just not made by the Broccoli's at that time. That's the only difference. Other than that, yeah, it's a James Bond movie. I mean, it's still similar source material, and yeah.
Wow, you know a lot about James Bond, Brian.
He lives and breathes this stuff, man.
Like this
I love James Bond, man.
Yeah,
I watched
like topics like this are so refreshing to me. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I don't want it to come off as like, you know, I don't want to sound like an asshole, you know. But because I love what Max does, and I love what
Oh no, trust me, I got really tired of it.
I'm so fatigued of DC and Marvel and Star Wars. You know, and so to talk about other movies is so fun for me.
Yeah, no.
And James Bond is a great topic because it's a huge franchise. It's massive, you know.
Oh yeah, absolutely, dude. I mean, we're an hour in and we're about halfway through. Like, holy crap, man! There's so much. I mean, like, For Your Eyes Only was a great movie, man. The special effects in this were starting to get better, and like the use of practicals were just like a million times better. And can we say enough about like the stunt people in these movies?
Bruh, the
Like,
stunt work in these films, like you don't see this stuff nowadays, man. Like people actually doing the stunts and actually getting cars and stuff to do the flips and explosions, man. It's like,
yeah,
bruh.
jumping off the Eiffel Tower, like,
Yeah,
and
man.
getting
Base
arrested for
jumping.
it.
Wow, base jumping off the Eiffel Tower. I remember that. I remember that might be the documentary I watched too on
A View to a
Hulu.
Kill. Yeah, dude got arrested for doing it because like they had 2 people to do it, but they only had contract for 1. So the guy's like, "Fuck this! I'm jumping off the damn Eiffel Tower." So he did, and like it almost ruined the production because it happened before they actually did the jump.
Oh no!
Yeah. So I was like, "Oh no!"
That would have listen. That would have really sucked if that movie hadn't been made. I'll just say that.
Or if that part hadn't been in there, like, dude.
Oh boy, I'm gonna save my controversial thoughts when we get there. But
we'll get that. Look, he knows what's coming.
and then we'll go to Octopussy. Dude, this movie was great, man. Like,
oh, it slaps from beginning to end, bro. It's so good, man.
100% James Bond, man.
Slaps the trash can. But
that really erotic girl. She was so pretty. The girl that played Octopussy. She was so pretty.
She was in the Maud Adams. She was in The Man with the Golden Gun.
Yeah, I just love that. The yo-yo saw blade, the little plane, the car was cool. Like every part of Roger Moore was super smooth in his like turtleneck with his he was doing the whole Archer thing. I swear that's where Archer got it from, dude. The black turtlenecks that Archer always says it has to be medium black, and then there's off black, and his butler's like, what? Dude, that I'm telling you, they got that from Roger Moore in Octopussy when he was like got his sniper rifle and his black turtleneck. And that movie, that's the first James Bond movie I ever saw, and I had so much fun with that movie. I can still go back and watch that to this day and have fun with it.
Oh, Octopus! Like I said, Octopus is great. Like even the end with like the nuclear weapon in Germany and stuff like that. Like that was such an '80s movie too. Like how they did it.
Yeah.
That little jet that they had, that was a real jet.
That was a real jet. It was
the jet was cool.
When it flew to the hangar at the air show, I'm like, how did they do that?
Oh, and then the train scene, like, dude, that whole train chase fight, like, dude, that was like one of the best parts of the damn movie.
Yeah,
like,
I grew up with 2 brothers, you know, family of 3, and we could rewatch that over and over and over. We wore the VHS tape out. We wore it out. And then we also had Cinemax at the time. Because these movies are old, guys. You got to remember, when you had cable, you had HBO or Cinemax or Showtime. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
And Showtime was really new at the time. So we would, whenever it was on Cinemax, we'd watch it. And then we had a recorded version. We didn't even have a store-bought version of the VHS. We had a crappy recorded one that we wore out. But we wore Octopussy out, dude.
That's how. That sounds funny.
Poor choice of words.
Giggity. Crazy.
Yeah, we wore that out.
Oh gosh. But for me, like, yeah, there's some really nice set pieces, and I did like the character of Octopussy. I did like her. I just felt like the story was kind of all over the place for me. It felt like it wasn't focused. But like I said, there are some nice set pieces, as you guys said. I do like the train sequence. I like the jet, and I like the fights in the jungle and stuff like that. Oh, when he tells the tiger to sit, I'm like, okay, wait a minute. That's not what happens.
He had clown makeup on, man. Clown makeup.
Oh my god!
But there were also different eras for James Bond and different technologies.
Well,
so
speaking of
the
which,
more modern they get, the more fleshed out they became. But those
when,
80s Bond movies are great, you know?
Well, this is like when the gadgets used to go nuts, man. Like,
oh yeah.
Dude, Q'd be working on some like crazy shit like in these movies. Like, here's a miniature freaking electromagnetic pulse device. It's like in the 80s. All right, cool.
All right. 80s technology.
Woo! And then
here's your micro camera. It's the size of one of our iPhones.
Like, okay. All right.
Oh, is it the world is not enough? Or no, tomorrow never dies with the cell phone driving the vehicle.
Oh
God.
yeah,
Yeah,
yep.
that was pretty
Remote control. Yeah.
Didn't you guys remember the gadget from? I don't remember which James Bond movie it was, but it was a printer, a copier. You stuck it on the paper and ran it across it, and it would like fax it to the.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
It
it
was
was
a little
a
tiny
view,
copier.
a view to a kill. A view to a kill.
Oh boy.
Was it a view to a kill? Yeah,
Yeah,
it was a view to a
because
kill.
he broke into the office and he was scanning the checks
Oh,
to
yeah.
see what it was. Oh man. Yeah, so the next one is
Oh,
Roger Moore's
boy.
last one. I like this movie a lot, man. It
This
takes
is
place
my favorite James Bond movie of all time.
Okay.
100%. Okay, first
It
off,
is.
Duran
This movie.
did the soundtrack.
Duran
for
Duran did the soundtrack. You had
Oh,
an amazing
dude.
villain in Christopher
It's
Walken.
literally the best part of the movie is that song.
What? You didn't, dude.
Okay,
Dude,
Mayday
Christopher
jumping
Walken
off
was
the
a
tower.
lunatic in that movie. Tanya
Oh.
Roberts, rest in peace, was beautiful. Dolph Lundgren
Dude.
was even in that movie.
Yes, he was.
I hate
Dolph Lundgren. Oh, and not only that, but
The exquisite Miss Grace Jones.
Elsa Schneider was in this movie. From,
Grace Jones was in this movie.
Yeah.
This was a packed movie.
Dude.
I love this. The fight on the Golden Gate Bridge with the blimp
Man.
and what was his name? Trask. He's the villain. Trask. He murders all those people in his mind. Just murders them and shoots them. And dude, what a crazy! This is the first James Bond movie I ever saw in theaters.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah.
hell yeah, dude.
Oh boy.
I love it because it takes place in San Francisco. I've been to some of the places like that this movie was filmed in front of. Like the 3rd Street Bridge where they jumped that fire truck is right
Yeah.
next to the stadium now. That's where the Giants play.
And that's probably why it's my favorite movie. Is because it's like the first movie I ever saw in a theater ever in my whole life was I've told you guys this was Return of the Jedi. But a couple years
Return
later,
the Jedi.
yeah, that was my first movie ever in a theater. But after that, my parents would be like, "All right, he's old enough to go to movies alone if he wants. We'll drop him off, pick him up." And I had MTV at the time, okay, and MTV still did music at the time, and they kept showing that Duran Duran video, and they kept linking it to the new James Bond movie. And I went, Octopussy was great. This is going to be awesome. And I didn't even know who Christopher Walken was at the time.
True. He was really unknown at the time.
But I knew who Tanya Roberts was because of Sheena. Do you guys remember Sheena, the zebra riding like barbarian? It was based off a comic book.
Beastmaster. And
yeah,
shit,
she was
dude.
the female Beast, and she was in Beastmaster too. Yeah, and I was like, man, Tanya Roberts, I gotta see this movie, man. So I got my little money, went and saw them, and that's the first James. That's probably why it's my favorite because there's so many better James Bond movies.
Of course, but the one that hits you with the memories,
but the View of the Kid, that's the nostalgia one, Brian. That's the one that hits me in the feels, man.
Yeah.
I mean, plus, I don't know if this matters. I don't know if I should. This is kind of a hot take. I don't know if I should say this or not. That was the first ever interracial love scene I'd ever seen in my life.
True.
I'd never seen one before.
Yeah.
And I was like, that took balls.
Mm-hmm.
Like
1985, absolutely.
Yeah. Because they weren't doing that on movies back then. You didn't see it very often, man. And you might see like Lieutenant Uhura kiss Kirk.
Later. Yeah.
But
that was it,
see
though.
like love-making scenes between a white man and a black woman. That stuff didn't happen. And I was like, this is crazy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And
I'd never seen it before.
Mayday was like one of the first strong female characters, Well, even Octopussy, they started putting in stronger female characters in these movies.
The Grace Jones character was legit scary villain though. Like you knew, she could kill you. She was legit scary.
Right?
She was legit scary. Great in real life. Grace Jones is legit scary. like
right?
Yeah.
Very true. Very true. Like her art form was just kind of like this got to you. It was like whoa.
She had,
some of it was
she had an album too, Brian, for that soundtrack. Like she's got a song on that soundtrack, I think, because she
was. I have to go back.
Grace was one of the first people. Grace, and for some reason I'm thinking Yoko Ono, but they were the first. They're not the first people to do techno, but they were like the first females to bring that techno sound to their music. Grace is like the first one I can think of that was doing that techno sound before like Tracy Lords and all those other people on the Mortal Kombat soundtrack and all that stuff. But yeah, I don't know. View to a Kill is just. I'm gonna shut up about it now because I'll talk about that one all day. That's
okay. Well, okay. Well, let me walk in and it'd be like the exact opposite. I think this is one of the worst Bond films, to be quite honest. It was just a mess.
It was one of the goofiest ones, I'd have to say, though. Like, as far as terms of like schlocky ones that Roger Moore did, yeah, I agree. This one was kind of like there was a lot of humor in it.
The way it starts, that's the one.
Yeah.
The way it starts when he's skiing.
And
he jumps off the cliff. He jumps off the
snowboarding.
He jumps off the cliff, pulls one of the earliest times you would see snowboarding, by the way.
True.
It was just becoming
85, yep.
He pulls the ripcord. You got the big Union Jack. He lands again, and now he's in a submarine that looks like an iceberg. Come on, man. Campy and cool. Perfect.
Yeah.
But I can see why people don't like it. I can see why people don't like it.
Now you were talking about that interracial scene, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's one of the other things. Why doesn't he just kill him right then and there? Why is he having sex with him?
Because she's a Bond girl, and that's what Bond does.
If Christoph Waltz is around the corner, like what? Huh? Why? There's no reason. I was mad. You could have just killed him right then and there. But okay.
James Bond,
But yeah, there's this major tonal issues. It wants to be really, really dark, and then it has really silly moments like that. And then Roger Moore is just too fucking old. How old is he? Like 82 years old in this movie?
That movie, he's very old. I'll give you that.
True.
He should have stopped after For Your Eyes Only.
Christopher Walken's hair was so crazy in that movie. Like, there's so much over the top stuff in that movie.
That's what makes it so great, though. I agree. Like, it's one of the first ones I watched on like DVD, so I have special like feelings about this one too. So there's nostalgia and feels.
Absolutely.
But I also
where they have a streaming all the Bond movies, because I would probably go rewatch them all again.
God, that would be amazing. I don't remember what platform they're on. I remember they're on Amazon there for a hot minute.
I mean, I own all of them, so I could just pop in whatever.
Wait, even if you do a kill?
Unfortunately, it was in the box set. That and like, there's not a lot. Like, there's only a couple of them that I just straight out dislike. It's that and Diamonds Are Forever. I couldn't stand Diamonds Are Forever too. But like, I'm sorry, man. I tried. I really tried. It was a struggle reviewing that movie too. I'm like,
the Golden Gate, the fight on the Golden Gate Bridge and the blimp.
Oh yeah, that was amazing.
I don't know. I could see what, but I was really young when I watched it. I could see like someone young now going back and like someone your guys' age.
Oh yeah, no, the stunts were terrible, dude.
Yeah, like, you guys go back and watch it and be like, this is horrible.
You could tell they had dummies falling off the blimp and like the stunt doubles, because Roger Moore is 67 in this movie, so it's like you totally could tell that stunt double was there.
Wait, was he really 67 in that movie?
No, he was like in his late 50s. Like,
I was gonna say, okay, because 67 is literally the American age of retirement now. Like, so
yeah, he should have. Time to hang up the 00 numbers. The next one is actually the first one of the first Eon Bond movies I watched, and that's The Living Daylights.
The Timothy Dalton James Bond movies get so much unnecessary hate. I don't know why.
Who hates them?
Oh, everybody I talk to, they don't like Timothy Dalton as Bond. And I'm like, yeah, everybody I talk to, they get just so much hate. I don't know why. I love those two movies.
Oh, they're the most stripped down Bonds, like the hardcore. Like this is Bond. Like, you almost want to say like this is how he earns his license to kill. You know what I mean?
Like the closest to the books.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Craig, but
I don't know why they get a lot of hate. You guys are Bond fans and don't see the hate these movies get.
Like I can understand and see it, but like I don't.
No, I mean you guys don't see it. You don't.
I get
like.
I mean,
no,
I get.
I've never had anybody crap on him.
Like the only thing I could say is like, I understand like, because like Timothy's Bond is like way different from Moore's, and we've just been accustomed to the more lighthearted nature of Moore for so long. So when they came in and be like, this is gonna be a more serious, dark Bond, I guess I could see why it's like people didn't love it.
Oh, I was alive for the Siskel and Ebert reviews. They got thumbs down on these.
What?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Well, no, wait. One got a thumbs up, one got a thumbs down. They would argue over these, and this is when you'd watch At the Movies or whatever with Siskel and Ebert when they were both still alive. And I'm telling you, there were so many movies that came out that were so good that they didn't like. But then there were ones that they would be like Jaws Revenge. And I'd be like, yeah, that's a horrible movie. But I never understood the hate for The Living Daylights or License to Kill. They specifically built, I think it's The Living Daylights. I hope I'm right. I might have jumped ahead of a movie. they specifically built 2 special tractor trailer trucks.
Oh, that was for License to Kill.
Okay, yeah, and I'm just like, wow, that's dedication for a movie, man. You know, that's some Stan Winston stuff right there. I mean, you know, I don't know. They just all my people that talk about the James Bond movies, Brodan's just messing with me.
Hey,
You
what's up,
know,
Rodan?
that could be considered racist in some places, Brodan. I'm just letting you know right now.
Oh boy.
It says vegetable lasagna. But no, this had the Aha song on it. You know, the living daylights.
Yeah, dude. Oh no, man. Like I don't know why, but every time Brian sings one, I love it, dude. You got more of this, bro. More of this, Brian.
But no, I just like this movie a lot, dude. It was hard edge, man, and like the Miriam Adabu, who played the cellist.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And then there was the escape scene on the cello case. Like, dude, this movie was fantastic. Like, you know, dude escaping, and then like the bad guy was like this general who owned his own island and was like had his own military force. It was like, what the fuck? Like
what
is this the guy? Okay, because I hear you guys always talking about Showgirls. Remember the guy that owns the strip club in Showgirls?
Oh, that's in License to Kill.
Okay, I don't care. Over the top, camp or not, he's a great villain.
Oh, dude, Robert Davi
He's
is
a
amazing.
Great villain in everything.
We'll just jump into License to Kill then.
Yeah, so good,
dude. I love License to Kill so much. It's one of my favorite Bond films.
I love it too. Is it really your favorite?
It's not my favorite, but it's one of my favorite Bond films.
Yeah, License to Kill is probably my second favorite Bond movie ever, even over Octopussy.
Well, dude, Felix Leiter's wife gets offed, dude, and it's like, oh, it's on.
Yeah, I just get so wrapped up in that movie. I don't know why. And Timothy Dalton, he's so quiet. He's so, you know what? Hot take. Timothy Dalton was the blueprint for the Daniel Craig James Bond. I'll say it, dude.
Yes.
Oh, clearly.
100%.
What? Yes. Like I think these movies were ahead of its time. People weren't ready.
They really were. They really were, man.
People weren't ready for these, man. Like, oh,
they were,
dude.
and it was pure late '80s, early '90s action. You know what I mean? I think it was late '80s, actually, very late '80s.
89, yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, so good, man. And then the semi tractor when he makes the truck do a wheelie, it does a whole shot. That's what in drag racing. That's what you call a whole shot. And when he makes that 18-wheeler do a whole shot, I get pumped every time, dude.
Oh
every time,
God.
And I know it's coming, and I get pumped every time.
Dude, Benicio del Toro,
right?
It's nuts seeing him that young, bro.
My God, it's like one of his first movies, dude. It's like, holy shit, man! Like,
it's crazy.
Well, and it's one of the ones that like deals with problems of the time, like drugs. Like,
yeah,
a lot of the movies are like, you know, spy Cold War type stuff. This one was
take over the world.
Giant freaking laser.
Yeah, you know, and this one's just about, you know, heroin, I think, and designer drug. It's crazy how down to earth. Well, I mean, you know what? If you look at A View to a Kill and then you jump right into Living Daylights and License to Kill, I can see why people are like, yeah, what the hell was A View to a Kill compared to this? You know,
that's a gear shift.
That's a huge turn. James
or
Bond.
If you like, or the other way around, like if you like the Roger Moore stuff, and you're just like, oh my God, this is too dark.
It's like, I don't know how the best way I can make. Here's the best analogy I can put. It's like going from a Schumacher Batman to a Nolan Batman.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like that quick, and you're like, what?
That's exactly what it is.
Well, and then you know, James Bond took a year off or a few years off here.
I wish they gave Dalton more movies, man. Like he was gone too soon.
I agree.
Anything with
why he didn't get more? Did they do bad at the box office?
Well, no. Well, I think they just weren't like you said, they kind of weren't well received. And not only that, but Timothy Dalton was kind of like a stopgap to get to Pierce Brosnan. They renewed he was going to do Living Daylights, but they renewed his contract to play Remington Steele. Last minute, so he ended.
I remember Remington Steele. It was him. They were like private detective, him and some girl. Guys, you got to remember, these are the eras that I grew up in. This era, this is what I was seeing on TV.
The TV show, man, Remington Steele. You know,
Remington Steele, and what was it like? You'd have Knight Rider, Airwolf, Street Hawk, Miami Vice.
I love that show.
That's my favorite TV show of all time. Airwolf.
Oh, I
Yeah.
loved Airwolf, man, with
Yeah.
the helicopter. Oh, dude, I always
From
wanted one
my
of those
past,
helicopters.
anyway.
Okay, so I remember the game more so than the movie GoldenEye.
Yeah, everyone talks about the game.
Just because it was like N64, man.
It was a
Everybody.
big deal. Yeah,
Oh
yeah. That
man,
was a
like
big deal. That was the first like multiplayer, yet without being
oh,
online, you could play multiplayer. Yeah, that was
split
a big
screen.
deal, man. Yeah.
Oh yeah, dude.
So for
Everything
me,
was changing at that time. Video games were coming into their own, and movies were starting to come into their own, and actors were starting to get paid serious roles.
True, true.
so for me, Brosnan is my first Bond. Brosnan is what got me into Bond, and to this day, I think he's still my favorite Bond. Even though I acknowledge that his movies aren't the best, but I feel like me personally, I feel like Brosnan's Bond is a good balance between all the other traits from the other actors. I think he encapsulates
True.
all of them equally. In my
Yeah,
opinion.
I do love Pierce Brosnan as James Bond, and I can see why they made so many movies with him and why they were such big hits.
True.
And this was the time of the there were always blockbusters, but GoldenEye was like one of the first sign of the times. Like, we got to get these summer blockbusters out
True.
because GoldenEye was the biggest of that summer, and then the very next summer was Independence Day, and then Men in Black. You know, they were
97 was a big year, man.
Yeah, they were
Men in Black.
Yep.
Tomorrow Never Dies came out during that one. But like, dude, GoldenEye, dude, Sean Bean in that movie, like, dude, you got to see shades of future bad guy goodness out of that guy.
Heck yeah, and it's another 00 agent. We don't get a lot from other 00 agents.
And I love the fight scene at the end on the satellite.
I am invincible.
Yeah, I really like that scene. That fight
snap
scene.
the pen or whatever.
Yeah, right.
that was a really great fight scene. And they brought the if I'm not mistaken, that's when they introduced the new Aston Martin.
Yeah.
Because the Aston Martin had been out of production for a while too. It was there, but they didn't have like a really sporty model. And then boom, they brought. So yeah, this is a great movie.
No, GoldenEye was great. The tank chase. Oh
the
man.
tank sequence. Yes.
Wait, is that the one with Famke?
Yes, Famke Janssen.
Yeah, oh my god, the way she killed people.
oh man, I let her kill me that way.
I forgot. Yeah, that's so great. Famke was in this one, man, and so was what's her face. Was GoldenEye the one? Nah, that wasn't Denise Richards, right? In GoldenEye.
No, that was The World Is Not Enough. Yeah.
Okay, who was the Bond girl against Famke in that one?
Elizabeth Scupatero or something like that. I don't remember her name.
Yeah, she was in oh my god, I know exactly who you're talking about. Yeah, she's a foreign actress, and what's her big movie after that one?
Oh damn, I don't remember. But
it was like Robin Hood or one of those type of movies. It was like a medieval movie. Yeah. Oh my god, it was Braveheart.
That's right.
It was Braveheart.
Oh no. That was Tomorrow Never Dies. No, wait, no. The World Is Not Enough. That was what's her face? She's French.
Oh yeah, Electra.
No,
there's so many Bond girls.
No, yeah, right. No, she was in. God damn it. She was in that movie Lost and Found with David Spade. Oh, that's gonna bug me. Yeah, that one had. Let's see the cast. Sophie Marceau.
Yeah, Electra.
Yeah.
Electra King. Yeah.
I wish I could think of the one that was in. Who went again? There was maybe she was forgettable. Maybe she wasn't a great Bond girl because everyone was thinking about Famke.
Isabella. She was a Polish-born Swedish actress, singer and model. She was in She was just known for GoldenEye.
That's crazy. Yeah, I guess that's why she's kind of. I don't want to say forgettable. That's disrespectful.
Dude, she was a really good Bond girl. You put respect on her.
No,
yeah. But Famke's the one I remember for some reason. I just remember Famke, and then when you go back, your mind correlates Famke with X-Men. It's just she's easier to remember.
100%, man.
Dude, like I didn't like Famke before this movie because I didn't like her in the X-Men films, but in this movie, she was awesome. She's fucking nuts.
She's nuts, bro. When he's beating her up and she's digging it. Yeah, I'm like, dude, this chick's crazy, bro.
Right?
getting an orgasm every time she kills somebody.
And she kills people by crushing them with her legs. I'm like, this is nuts, man.
Yeah,
No,
bro.
I wouldn't want to be on the wrong end of that one. That poor general, man. Jeez, he went down like a punk. All right. So my dinner just got here, so I'm gonna probably we'll get through these here real quick, and then we'll take off for the night. I don't know if Max is doing anything in the next half hour or not. He might be, so we'll get off before then. So Tomorrow Never Dies had the Sheryl Crow song, and that was oh yeah.
I
Never Dies.
Why am I having trouble remember Tomorrow Never Dies? No, that was the one with Denise Richards, yeah?
No, it was Terry Hatcher and Michelle
Terry
Yeoh.
Hatcher.
Michelle Yeoh, bro.
Michelle
that
Yeoh
was-
was in Tomorrow Never Dies, dude.
Tomorrow Never Dies was the plot is that the one?
News Media. It was the
Yeah.
dude
Oh,
from
yeah, the dude
it
from
was, the bad guy was from Pirates of the Caribbean. He played the
Elizabeth's
dang.
father.
yeah, Elizabeth Swan's father.
Oh, I know why I like Famke Sri. Yeah, I know exactly why I like Famke.
Well, because she was Jean Grey. Like
Yeah, she was Jean friggin' Grey, and she was the
Unfortunately.
Phoenix, bro. You know, like the only
Unfortunately.
part of the X. I mean, don't get me wrong, X-Men 3 was meh,
kinda,
but the part where Wolvie had to kill her, man, I was feeling it. You know,
Yeah.
like I felt that. So yeah, I got a soft spot for Famke. Plus, I really liked her in Nip Tuck.
True. This is the one with the remote control car, with the Sony Ericsson phone.
I will say, like, I personally did like that sequence. I had a good time with it. I don't like
Oh.
the look of the car though. I
The
don't care.
BMW was
Yeah.
when they did BMWs as the cars, I was like, dude, that's a German car, but okay.
Yeah.
Oh, they
man,
went
but-
back to Aston Martin real quick, guys. They did.
Oh, they did. The next to Die Another Day, they went back to Aston Martin with the V12
Now, is that the one with
Vanquish.
the Ice Palace?
That's the Ice Palace one, yeah.
I love that one.
With the
I
giant
love
laser.
that one, dude. I love that one.
Oh,
Oh,
with the
you
the
are in
diamond
the
laser.
minority, my friend.
I love that one, dude. It's
I
cool.
was
You
not
are
a
in the
fan.
minority, my
The
guy.
girl's gonna drown. The James Bond girl was great. The villain girl didn't really want to be a villain. That was a good plot twist. Yeah, man, I just really liked that one. And the chase
Well-
scene on the ice was really good.
True.
The car
That
flips
was-
upside down, then flips back
Dude.
over. That was cool as shit, man.
Dude, when the giant laser came in, I tuned out. I'm sorry. I was trying to stick with it until the giant freaking laser came in. I'm like, can we
Yeah.
stop with the lasers, please? God.
Well, the one thing I like about with the Pierce Brosnan stuff is introduction as Judi Dench's M.
Yeah.
I always really liked Judi Dench, and especially like the post Cold War Bond movies, which all of these are. The World Is Not Enough is the one with the oil.
Yeah.
Um,
The pipelines.
yeah, and then like M gets kidnapped and all that good stuff, and that's the one with Denise Richards who plays a scientist.
Christmas Jones is a new
Yeah, that one's so hard. It's just so hard to buy.
Yeah, it was tough.
You know, I
it was tough.
but it's a Bond movie, so I immerse myself in.
Well, Garbage did a
and-
good song. The World Is Not Enough. That was
Oh, it was actually I thought it was just Shirley Manson. It was actually all of Garbage. Huh?
that was Garbage. Yeah,
Yeah.
and then. But Die Another Day, I hated the theme. That was Madonna.
Yeah.
That's what- Die Another Day is the one with,
Halle Berry's in this
Halle
one.
Berry, right? Storm's in it.
Yeah.
All these future X-Men in these Bond movies, man.
Well, they were
Yeah,
X-Men
man.
at this point, like except for Funky. She was Storm. This is after
Oh,
X3.
that's right, because the first X-Men was 1999.
Wait,
Or
when
Di-
did Dino
wait.
Day came out 2001, right?
No, 2002. Okay, X3
Oh,
was what?
2002.
2000.
2000.
Okay.
Oh
so
wait,
yeah,
you're talking about you said X-Men 3?
X3. Yeah.
Oh, that came out 2004.
Yeah.
Okay. So it was after X2 then when
Yeah.
she was in Die Another Day. I thought that was interesting, like the plastic surgery and stuff like that. Rosamund Pike was in that movie.
I love her. I love
Yeah,
her. I
yeah.
love her and everything.
She's gone on to
done.
do some other stuff, and
From
it's like,
Jack
wow.
Reacher to Gone Girl. I don't care. Everything I've seen her in is great. That one about the medicine on Netflix
Mm-hmm.
where she, well, not medicine. It's not about a medicine. She puts old people in homes and takes all their stuff. and Peter Dinklage is a gangster and torture. Yeah, that's a great movie. I can't remember what it's
Oh,
called.
dude.
We Care a
I have
Lot.
to check that out,
We
man.
Care a Lot. That's what
Oh,
it's
We
called.
Care a Lot.
We
Okay,
Care a
I'll have
Lot.
to check that out. So this leads us into the Daniel Craig section. I'm not gonna lie.
Not your father's James Bond for sure.
I love Daniel Craig. As James
I love him
Bond.
too. He's my second
he's
favorite
really
James
good.
Bond.
He's really good.
Casino Royale kicks you right in the nuts from the word go.
Heck
It hits
yeah.
you hard with that Chris Cornell, rest in peace, intro. You don't know my name. Like,
If I had to say what I think, if I had to say what I think is the greatest James, not my favorite, but if I had to say what I think is the greatest James Bond movie ever made, it's Casino Royale.
yeah, 100%, dude.
So great.
Lashiv, what was it? Dude, he's in like everything now.
Mads Mikkelsen,
dude, he's
He's
freaking
so-
awesome.
he's so great.
I love
That
him in
car-
Hannibal.
the card
He's
game-
amazing in Hannibal, dude. He's so
the
good. in
the
Hannibal.
casting of Felix Leiter, like,
And the girl from 300 and
Ava
my-
Green, man.
Yeah. Oh my god, dude.
Man, one of the best Bond girls.
Yeah, without a doubt.
down,
one of the
hands
best
down.
Bond girls. When he flips the Aston Martin so he doesn't run her over. Oh god, that was my favorite Aston Martin of any of them.
And that car like flipped 11 times or some
Yeah.
shit like that. Like,
Such a good scene.
It
man.
broke
And
the
when he's
record.
is that the one where he's smacking him in the balls with the?
yes.
Yes.
He's
Oh
like,
my
"But
god,
the last
bro.
thing though is you were
Oh,
scratching my
God.
balls." I was like, yes.
Oh my god,
fucking
dude! Daniel
tell him.
Craig is so dope in that movie. Just
Yeah.
and the opening scene with the parkour.
Yes, the
It's
parkour scene.
insane, bro. It's insane. That's when I was like, this is not the same James Bond that we grew up with. This is a whole new next level edgelord James Bond.
Bruh,
I love him. I love every one of his movies. Daniel Craig.
Yeah. I mean, even Quantum of Solace. I mean, I like these ones because they started telling a through story. Well, I feel like they alternate. So it's like you get a great one like Casino Royale and an okay one with Quantum of Solace.
Yeah.
I like
Well,
the
what
intro
made Quantum
with
of Solace, in my opinion, good, Brian, is if you watch like Man on Fire, Man Apart. Everyone loves a good revenge story.
True.
And Quantum of Solace was a revenge story. And the end was very sad.
No, it was absolutely, and not only that, but like I loved the main title, Jack White and Alicia Keys.
You wait. You liked that?
Oh, I love that song.
Oh no!
Another
man.
Way to Die. Oh man,
I was so mad. I'm like, what is this?
I think it fit, man. Especially back in. I mean, it pales in comparison to the one that came before.
Yeah,
but I love the title sequence for it. The opening sequence with, and how it basically introduced us to at least Monty Penny. Like, dude, that whole part was awesome.
Yeah, and Judi Dench was good in it, and
Wait,
it did have pacing issues, though. I absolutely agree with that.
No,
Skyfall was when they introduced Monty Penny. Yeah.
God dang it! Damn it! All right, but anyways,
I will say I personally found the editing in Quantum like very sporadic, like a lot of shaky camera, a lot of quick edits. It was just personally too much.
The rooftop chase, I dug the rooftop chase in
was
Venice.
cool.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool, but it does have pacing issues. But I like it because it's a revenge story, and what's her face redeemed herself. I like that.
True.
You know? And the ending was sad. And the first time I ever felt bad for James Bond, 'cause I was like, oh wow, this motherfucker. Oh, I'm sorry, I said the bad word. He's actually been in love before, you know. Like,
I got 200
wow.
subs, man.
He's had sex with all the. When you picture James Bond as a character, and the actual James Bond character, not the actors who played him, and you go, wow, he's ran through all these women, but he only ever loved one.
True.
You know, and I was like, that's. Well, up until very recently, I'm like, he's only ever loved one girl. I'm feeling this. I'm feeling this revenge story, man. I'm digging it.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and then it kind of brings us to like I said, these are all kind of almost connected in a sense. These movies are, and I love Skyfall. Okay,
Yeah,
I
Skyfall.
really like Skyfall.
From the opening scene dude, how James Bond is it? You just mangled this train. You whooped all these people's asses. You jump in and then you pop your cuffs. And fix your come on, man. That's James Bond all day, dude.
Yeah. It's so James Bond.
You popped your cuffs, man. That's James Bond, dude, all day long.
Well, and then like I love once again the title sequence for this one. Adele,
she
fucking
crushed
nailed
it.
it, dude.
Killed
like,
it, man.
She brought me back to like old school James Bond themes, like the old Shirley Bassey ones from back in the day. Like,
Heck yeah.
oh man, like, dude, she just nailed it. And then this movie, stop to finish. Javier Bardem.
Oh yeah.
So
Just-
amazing.
Oh my god.
The
Very good.
reveal about the cyanide
Yeah.
Mm.
And when he
and
takes half his face off, it's like
his
oh my God, dude.
hatred for M, dude. Like
Yeah.
just his hatred for her because he was so devoted to her, viewed her as a surrogate mother. You know what I mean? Like, and then, you know, he's telling her, you know, I'm coming for you because look at what I did for you, and you never, ever, ever cared about me. Like that's how he feels, dude. Dude, Javi, he might be the most complex Bond villain ever.
Absolutely. I mean, dude, anytime he plays a villain, let's just be honest here. Javier Bardem, it's like professional villain.
Heck yeah.
That reveal when he took the teeth out and showed what cyanide does and how he can't taste anything. And when he shot the girl, he told her,
Mhm.
I knew he was gonna do it. He told her to put that on the head, and they got them old muskets or whatever, and he just kills her. And I'm just like, wow, this dude does not give a shit about
It's
anything.
like, and Bond just has to like pretend like he doesn't care. I'm like, oh, jeez.
And then what do we? And then we lose her. You know who I'm talking about? The church, the helicopters, just an amazing ending. And I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure that's the one where M dies.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's where
Yeah,
Judi
and
Dench's
and
M
then
dies,
you
but then
actually-
we get freaking Ray Fiennes. Like,
Ray
Yeah, he's-
Fiennes.
But you actually get to see like this lunatic version of a James Bond. He loved her too. He saw her as
True.
a surrogate mother, you know.
he appreciated the hell out of her.
So
like,
and her last line is like, "Go do your job" or some shit like that. You know, it's so
Yeah.
cool. It's so that's such a Skyfall is so good, man. I love all the Daniel Craig ones. You know, Spectre,
Mhm.
I had to power through a little bit,
yeah, a little bit.
Spectre is
but I love
okay.
Christoph Waltz. So
Yeah,
you know,
100%. It was one of the redeemers of that whole movie, and not only that, but it kind of gave us Elizabeth Swan, or not Swan. What the hell's her last name? Anyways,
yeah.
Bond's
yeah.
love interest over the
Love
last two
interest.
movies,
Yeah.
yeah.
but
A good one. Spectre's a good one. You finally get to see the rings and all that crazy stuff. It leads into the last James Bond movie.
yeah,
You know,
which is
they
No
all
Time to
kinda
Die
do
wasn't
connect.
too bad.
I love No Time to Die.
I really enjoyed it too,
love
man. I really enjoyed it. I knew they were gonna do what they did. You know, I don't know if this one's a newer one, so I don't really want to drop spoilers, but whatever. I knew they were gonna kill James Bond off. You know, I
Oh,
knew
yeah,
they were
absolutely.
gonna do it, and I
Yeah.
knew it was gonna be sacrificial. You know, and it had a lot of just even the beginning when he goes to that gravesite and gets blown up. Like I'm like, dude, what? And then they bring Christoph Waltz back. You know, to antagonize him. No Time to Die is a very well done James Bond movie.
Oh, and I also
And I
like
love what's her face
Rami
in it.
Malek. Like
Rami Malek.
Rami Malek
Yeah.
is dude. Everything he's in. Everything he's in. Everything.
Yeah.
My favorite thing I've ever seen him do. Everyone's like Mr. Robot. No, I loved We Will Rock You, that Queen movie.
Bohemian Rhapsody.
yeah,
Bohemian
Bohemian
Rhapsody. That's what it was.
As Freddie
I said We
Mercury,
Will Rock.
dude. Yeah,
As
he was
Freddie
the
Mercury,
shit,
he
dude.
killed it. But the way it ended, the sacrifice, I loved all that. I think it ended on a good note. No Time to Die ended on a good note, and I really enjoyed. Well, they bring Christoph Waltz back was really cool. Rami Malek was really good in it. The plants, the poison. I don't know, man. It was he was giving off. I remember texting Brodan going, "Yo, this dude's giving off serious Poison Ivy vibes, man."
Right? He's like, I know what to take, and
This dude's
it's like
giving off like, and
dude's
I
faces are melting off and shit. It's like, oh.
And the way it ended, the way he said goodbye, I knew they were gonna.
Oh,
and I
we
like
have all the
what's her
time
face
in the
that they
world,
made-
man. Like,
What's the girl they made the big deal about? Oh my God, it's so woke because there's a black girl in it. Shut up, man.
oh
Shut
yeah,
up.
yeah, dude, she was fine. Like,
I love her as an actress too. She's really good.
yeah,
And I
and
love
see
the
that was
fact-
like,
And her and James Bond, her and Daniel Craig actually had chemistry in the movie. They
did.
were witty with each other and bounced things off each other, and they helped each other. I dug it. I dug that movie, man.
yeah, that was the least of my worries. And not only that, but it goes to show that the number 007 can be given to a female, and it doesn't detract from the movie whatsoever. Like,
No,
Exactly.
I'm in it for the character of 007 as much as I am as the James Bond. You know?
Yeah. So you could put anybody in as 007
Yeah.
and I will believe it. You know, it doesn't necessarily have to be James Bond. It could be anybody. So
Absolutely.
And that was his kid, yeah.
yes. Yes.
So
Yeah,
they confirmed canon.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So later
that
on,
guy
that
knew.
kid later on. I remember when Kill Bill first came out. Okay, many moons ago. But I remember it feels like it just came out yesterday. I remember the little girl that she said, if you want to get revenge for what I just did to your mom, come see me in about 15 years. And that time has passed. So if they wanted to make another Kill Bill movie with whatever the girl's name was from Kill Bill, Vanita, I gotta think Nikki. Remember when she killed the cereal? She had the gun in the cereal.
Yeah.
And she said, if you want to come see me about 15, well, now we're saying it now because it just came out, but many years from now, you can have James Bond's son take over that role because now he has a child, canon. So that's something they could do later on down the line. I know you guys know way more about Bond than I do.
That's a daughter, not a son.
His daughter.
Oh, that was a girl?
Yes,
Yeah.
that was a girl.
Why am I thinking son, man?
I don't know. But this song gave me like it kind of teared up at the end of this one because it gave us the last song that Louis Armstrong ever recorded.
Yeah,
as James Bond died.
Yeah, well, that and like as James
credits,
Bond died,
yeah.
But it also mirrored back to On Her Majesty's Secret Service when after the wedding when James Bond gets married and his wife gets killed by Blofeld.
Mm-hmm.
I need to go back and watch some of these older James Bonds that I don't remember. I know I've watched every James Bond there is, except for maybe one, and I'm just having trouble remembering them.
Dude, Majesty's Secret Service is like low-key become one of the most important Bond films in the franchise because like all these other films are like referencing it so much, and I'm like, I love it. It's great.
These other films, you mean like the James Bond films are?
Yeah, the Bond films keep referencing like or going back to like On Her Majesty's Secret Service. Like as I'm saying, like this, like Majesty has become one of the most important films of the franchise.
It really.
Yeah, I heard the Kingsman movies play up to it a lot too. The Kingsman movies are like.
I'll have to check those out. I still haven't watched any.
Very patriotic. Yeah, they're supposed to be like very UK patriotic type of movie. I've seen a lot of UK films, but I don't really remember too many patriotic UK films.
Yeah, the Kingsman films are pretty solid.
Yeah, a little over the top, but fun movies, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right, fellas. I think we're gonna wrap.
Because ain't no one ever gonna forget that church scene, D. No one's ever gonna forget that church scene if they've seen Kingsman.
Yeah, that church scene, man. That was.
He went in, bro.
Crazy.
All right. Man.
Yeah, Brian, I can't be. I haven't seen him. Big old movie buff like you, and you haven't seen the Kingsman movie.
Oh, I know. It's just I spend most of my time watching other stuff. Reruns of Deep Space Nine. That's what I watched.
That was awesome. This is fun. That's the only one. Oh wow, we gotta talk Star Trek too, bro.
No.
My brother loved Star Trek, and
I'll get you on as a guest for 10 Forward, man.
And if it's the Next Generation or Voyager, I can talk about it because I've watched them all. He made me, but I'll show you something too. He's got a Next Generation plaque. There's only like 1,000 of them made, all autographed. And when he died, I got it.
Nice.
Yeah, very cool. And Diana Troy, yeah, she's always been. But Voyager for some reason is my favorite. Don't shoot the messenger.
Voyager,
Voyager's my favorite Star Trek.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Prodigy's increasing my appreciation of Voyager every time I watch an episode. To be honest. I love Star Trek Prodigy, the new show. It's great.
I haven't watched that one yet.
I need to catch up.
All right. I need to get some dinner, everybody. So this has been a lot of fun.
Go eat. This was fun, man.
We could go break into some of these movies later on down the road, but I'm glad that we've talked about them. So everyone, thanks for coming on, man. Next time,
and
you guys
Brian will be putting his poll in the chat for the next franchise you would like him to talk about that does not involve Marvel or DC.
Yeah, no, honestly, we that's what I enjoy talking about.
Predator versus Alien. I love that idea.
Oh wait, whoa! That's a rabbit hole you don't want to.
Yeah, right. all over the place. All right, everyone, take your